Hi Year 7s, Mr. Dobson here. Just want to run you through how you can create yourself an Onshape account and how you use Onshape. Onshape's a 3D CAD piece of software that we can use at home and in schools for drawing up our designs in 3 dimensions. So to do that, first thing you need to do is just type in Onshape education into Google. You then click on the Onshape website. And the first thing you need to do is, over here on the left hand side, is create yourself a username, put your email in. You need to click student, and then we're going to click on grade school K-12. You might not recognise that because it's American. So I'll do. So obviously I've made one up here. Click the checkbox to agree it, and then it says create education account. You'll then get put through to another website where you just need to add in Penistone Grammar School, school website address, which is Penistone-GS.UK, Penistone, South Yorkshire, and then you've got to think which year are you going to graduate in. So if you are Year 7s, that would be 2024. What you're going to use Onshape for, so we're going to use it for CAD and modelling. Click that you're over 18 or an IT administrator is acting on your behalf. Click that you have to agree. And then the final thing you need to just do the capture and then create account. Once you've created an account, it'll ask you to verify your email, so make sure you log on to your Office 365 account. You'll then just have to click on verify the email and then put in there again. Obviously I've made up that email, which is why it's come up with that error message, but hopefully you should have no problems logging on. So once you've registered with Onshape and you've verified your email, next time you go in there, you should just be able to go straight to it. Rather than doing this part here, you're just going to sign in. All we're then going to do is when the sign-in box comes in, you type in your username, password, and you'll come up with this sort of home page. Again, yours won't have all these different drawings and things because you won't have drawn anything yet. So the first thing you need to do is go to this blue create button on the top left, click on create, and we're going to create a new document. And we're going to call that document Tower of Hanoi Base. Once we've done that, it'll bring up our drawing area. So you can see what we've got here. We've got 3 different what they call work planes. So it's like an imaginary piece of paper, if you like. So we've got this one here that's described as top. It's like the floor. This one front, which is like the wall we can draw on. And then this right one here, which is the right wall. So how it all works. Along the top, we've got our sort of drawing icons and our feature icons here. So we've got a sketch button, extrude, we use that a lot, sweep, all this type of thing. We've got fillets, we can radius edges, put a curve on them, chamfer them, web in them, hollow them out, all that type of thing. So we're going to start drawing up our Tower of Hanoi base. So the first thing that we need to do is sketch. You can see when I hover over, so I'm not clicking any buttons, when I hover over them, it actually brings down a little box that tells you basically what you have to do. So you can see this one, it says to create a new sketch, you need to select a plane first to draw on, use the sketch tool, create any curves, and then click the green checkbox. So we're going to do that. So I'll click on sketch. Again, it's prompting me to select a work plane. We're going to use this top work plane to start with. And we're going to click OK. Once we've done that, you'll see that these icons at the top here have changed to sketching icons. So we've got line tools, rectangles, circles, all different types of drawing sketches we can do. We're going to concentrate on this rectangle tool. However, you can see there's a little arrow button to the right of that. So anywhere you see that means there's more options. So you can see I can do a corner rectangle, so pull a rectangle from one corner to the other, or I can do a center point rectangle. We're going to use this center point rectangle. And again, little pop-up box next to it tells us that the first thing we need to do is find the starting point of that rectangle and then click to locate the end. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to select this very center point, so this black dot here, and I'm going to drag out a rectangle. You can see as I drag that rectangle bigger and smaller that it's dimensioning those. Again, we don't need to worry about them getting exact. We'll get somewhere near. I'm going to click that button. You'll see I can go to this dimension tool, which up here, and I can select the line, drag out a dimension, and then I can change that to 200 millimeters. And then do the same on the side, drag that dimension line out, change that to 70. Once I'm happy that that's the correct shape, I then click on the little green tick button and that'll auto size that for me. Once I've done that, so I've got our basic rectangular sketch, I then need to pull that sketch up from that surface. So to do that, I need to click on this extrude icon here. First thing I need to do is tell it which bit I want to extrude. So I've got to hover over it. You'll see that rectangle outlined in orange. It'll preview, you'll see it's already previewed at 25mm pull up. We don't need it to be as deep as that. So we're going to change our size to 15mm and then click on the tick box. And you'll see we've then drawn our tower brownie base, simple shape of it in 3D. Once we've drawn it in 3D, I'm going to show you some of the tools we can use. So if you use your right mouse button, hold it down, I can then rotate that shape. If I use the middle wheel mouse button, you can see it zooms in and out. If I hold down the wheel mouse button and the right button, I can pan it across the page so I can get it central. And I can also use this icon in much the same way. So you see I could click on this to rotate. I could, however, decide that I just want to look at the top view. Yes. I then might look at the front view. I can also use this box to get an isometric view, so 3D view again. So once we've got our basic rectangular block, we're then going to put on our 3 holes for our steel pins. So to do that, again, we need to go to sketch, because we always have to sketch what we're going to draw first. So I'll sketch it. It then again asks me what plane I want to sketch on, so I'm going to select that top face. Again, it's highlighted orange now. Click on that, you'll see that our drawing tools have changed. So I'm now going to select the circle tool. Again, like the other one, obviously there are more options. We're going to stick with that top one, however, which is center point circle. So again, it says click to indicate the starting point and click to indicate the radius position. So click on that. I'm then going to find it. You'll see, if I zoom in, that if I hover over the middle, yeah, you can see it already knows where that middle is. So where these 2 work planes here cross, it will automatically snap to that bit. So again, I'm just going to drag out a circle. Again, I'm not really bothered about at the moment how big that diameter is, but I'll click it. Again, you can see it's 14. So I'm going to dimension that. And I'm going to change that to 6mm. I'm then going to draw another circle. But this time, I'm going to draw it again. You can see that it follows where this work plane is. So again, I'm going to follow it down that work plane. And again, draw another circle. Dimension it. Again, 6mm. And then we're going to do exactly the same on the other end. So again, following that work plane, you'll see it's got that dotted orange line. So follow that work plane up, somewhere near the end, drag the circle out, and dimension that circle. Make it 6mm. So we're nearly there. The last thing we need to do is tell it, so we know that one's bang in the middle. However, we need to make sure that this one is the right distance from the end. So again, to dimension that, click on the dimension tool. We're going to select the end line, the circle, and you'll see that I can now dimension those. Just need to be careful. I want to zoom in there. What's happened when I've dimensioned it, you can see it's selected this end line, but it's selected the edge of the line. So if that happens, all you need to do is click escape. That'll delete it. Go back to the dimension tool and this time we're going to select the line, and we need to make sure we've got the middle. So you see that? So now we're dimensioning right from the centre of that circle. Again, click that dimension, and we want to change that to 35 millimeters. Zoom out, I do exactly the same on the other end. So click the line, click the very centre of the circle, and change that one to 35 millimeters. So again, once we're happy that we've got all our holes in the right position, they're all 6mm, we then click the green checkbox, and then we're going to extrude again. So we click on the extrude button. I'm just going to move mine out of the way. I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see. So now what we want to do, you can see we've got some more options. So I actually want to remove material this time. And again, it's now asking me to tell it which bits I want to remove. So if I select, just hover over the top, it'll select the whole outside. And again, if I do that, you can see that all goes wrong. So I need to undo that. So this time I just need to select the circle itself. So again, select that circle, select that circle, select that circle without selecting the outside edge. Again, we're then going to remove it 10 millimeters deep. So once we've got that sorted, we then click tick box, and again, if I just pan in and zoom around, you'll see it's now cut those 3 holes where our pins are going to be positioned. Again, another couple of features that you might look at. Again, there's this one here. If you get lost and you zoom in too far out, if you just click that one, you can zoom to fit. And again, I will always go back to isometric, so we're back to the start for drawing. So the last stage of drawing our base is to put the chamfer on this top edge here. So to do the chamfer, we just need to go across these toolbars at the top. You can see this one's a fillet, which is a rounded edge. This one here is a chamfer, so it's like this diagonal slope cut on each edge. So it says again, first thing I need to do is select the edges, then specify the size of the bevel or the chamfer. So click on it, and again, we're going to have it equal distance. It's already set at 5mm, so that makes it dead easy. Again, I'm going to hold down my middle mouse wheel and the right mouse button just to move it over. And I'm going to select that face. You can see it does a little preview. That top face, that top edge, sorry, that edge, and that far edge. And again, you can see it's done our little chamfer. If I wanted a bigger chamfer, I could change that number there. Again, ours wants to be 5mm, so that's pretty straightforward. Again, we're not going to do it on this one, but however, I could have two distances slightly different. Yeah, I could create a bigger bevel or a bigger chamfer. However, we will just want the equal distance one, so it's 5mm in from the top, 5mm down that top edge. So once we're happy with that, we're on equal distance, we've got 5mm. You then just need to click on the green checklist. So the last stage, once we've drawn our base in 3D, is to change the colour, because we don't want our wooden base to look blue. So the next stage we're going to do is go over to this right hand side, and it says appearance panel, and you can see that's the part that we've drawn up, part 1, and you can see that it's coloured blue. So all I do is double click on the blue colour, and I've got this little palette picker. So again, we're just going to choose a wood looking colour. If we're happy with that, we're then just going to click on the green tick. We can minimise that again just by clicking it. And the last thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to hover over it so my mouse is in the middle, right click, and I'm going to assign a material for that part. So again, I can go into the material library, and you can see you've got lots and lots of different materials here: aluminium, beech, all different types of materials, woods, metals, all that type of thing, all the way down. We're actually going to use Western red cedar. So if you see, I've just typed in red, Western red cedar, you'll see that actually then assigns and gives that 3D shape a weight as if that was actually made out of wood there. So it gives a density, and I can find out how heavy that would be, etc, etc. You know, you can, down here it does all fancy things like calculate the area of all these things. You might not need it in year 7, but you might need it a bit later, a bit older on in school. Once we've done that, we're nearly ready to go. It looks a bit messy at the moment because we've still got all these work planes in there. So what we can do, if I hover over the work plane, right click, you can see I could hide that one, hide all of them, or hide all. I can remove all of those, and I can also, this little origin box, again, if I right click over that, I can hide that. So we've got our total finished picture. Again, that one I'm going to put in isometric, make it full screen, and then what I want you to do is to do a print screen or a snip tool of it. So once we've got to that stage, look for the snip tool, click on it, we're going to create a new snip, and we're going to snip tool that whole document. Yeah, you can then save that to your OneDrive, or you could copy it straight to your email. Once you've done that, I then want you to upload that image to the assignment that I've set. So I can see that everybody's completed that first stage.